Let's take a look at some of the hogs at the fucking Trump trial. Thank God, dude. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior, for giving us some goddamn content. 34 MKD50. Thank you for the 50 gift subs, allowing 50 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Funding district attorney in order to bring this case. There's no underlying felony.
Oh, there she is. What's her face? Loomer.
I'm gonna give you $5 here. It's a hush money payment.
Here's the deal.
If you can just leave.
Here's the deal, my friend. That has nothing to do with it.
So we are here in Lower Manhattan, outside the courthouse where Donald Trump is set to appear today for the first day of jury selection for the Stormy Daniels hush money case.
That's right. Behind us, you can see about maybe 10 to 15 Trump supporters, about 50 members of the media. So the media is really showing out today.
Donald Trump, at the speech in Allentown, he said he wanted people to be there, show their support. And it looks like the people that came were about, like you said, 15 people. And Laura Loomer screaming at the top of her lungs in a bullhorn.
Apparently, a few days ago, also, he said to stand back and stand by. A call back to what he said to the Proud Boys at one point. But I think people have stood back.
He didn't actually say stand back and stand by.
I think he did.
Did he really?
Oh, we'll look it up.
We'll look it up.
Throw that clip in here if he did. But
I think
either way, I
tweeted it saying this is what they're saying here. This is the implication.
Well, the implication seems to have kept people way back, so far back that they didn't even show up.
They didn't show up.
Yeah.
They didn't show up. And when you look at it and you see that there's lots of Trump supporters, you should also keep in mind that I would say probably 15% of those Trump supporters, those 15 people, maybe 20% are people pretending to be Trump supporters who are wearing Trump hats but they're just kind of doing funny videos.
So
and
of that
like
15, you got to subtract.
three or four of them.
Yeah.
But we do know a lot of the people here. We know Brian Glenn from Right Side Broadcasting. He was over interviewing some people.
We know the Jews control everything guy.
Oh yeah, Peter. Look over here. There he is in a ski mask over there. He's got a giant sign. You see him with the cross? He's got a white hoodie with a cross around his neck, a giant crucifix, and he's the guy that DeVrom talked to who said Jews.
I don't get it. If you think Jews control everything, don't you want Jews to control everything so they can have Israel and stuff? If you're a Christian, kind of seems like a phony Christian to me. Or maybe he's a Catholic. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you're riding for Christianity, who do you think are the biggest supporters of Israel? It's Christians. You know? It's odd. Bit of a fake evangelical, coming across like a fake evangelical to me.
Control everything.
Right.
You think Jews control the country?
Yeah, they control the fucking country.
Oh, interesting.
They control Wall Street, they control the banks, they control Hollywood. Every fucking building in New York City is owned by Jews.
Hey,
fucking close.
I'm Jewish.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey, you gotta get out of
I ain't
here.
going no
I control everything. You gotta go.
I'm not going no fucking way.
You gotta go. I'm Jewish.
Fuck you.
But I control everything.
No,
So
you don't control
you
me,
gotta
fucker.
go. You gotta go.
Movement.
I'm just saying it. So there you have it. Jews
going.
control everything.
Oh my God, he proved his point. What the fuck?
Able to clear the square there. I just commanded him to leave, and he left.
Well, it's true what they say. Jews control everything. DeVrom's a Jew, and
That's crazy.
took care of that.
Yep.
In his defense, DeVrom,
I did control him.
you did control
right
him,
after.
and you are Jewish.
And that was. I'm not gonna say my bad. I don't regret it. But it was unfortunate to confirm some of his stereotypes.
Right.
It was an unfortunate moment, but he did clear the area, and so as a Jew, I was grateful for that.
Yeah.
Wait, you think that guy genuinely was afraid? Because it's such a stupid idea. I sometimes forget that some people are sincere in their beliefs. So it is so far beyond anything that I can recognize internally that I always immediately think, oh, it's a cynical grifter just saying this. And I forget that oh no, he might legitimately think this Jewish man does actually exert some sense of authority over him. where in a weird way his like anti-Semitism causes him to like be genuinely afraid. That's kind of funny as fuck. Like he's a real one. He is a real one. He's like, no, you are Jewish. I am scared, actually. Please. Please do not show me your tail and horns. I will leave. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Exercising my power.
With great power comes great responsibility, though. And I also see that you haven't used your power to get everybody else out of here. You believe in free speech and things like that.
I believe in free speech. Also, you know, I want to see what happens, right? It's a little boring to just snap my fingers and clear the area. So we're gonna wait on that.
All right, so we're here in the section of the park that has all the Trump supporters in. Most of the people here are media or trolls who are just here
or people who live or work in the area
prank people.
And thought, this is weird. I'll check it out.
Right over here is the Jews Control Everything guy. He's the guy DeVrum talked to a couple, I guess it was a year ago.
Jews versus TikTok.
What?
I don't know if the Jews are winning or not. I don't know what the implication of that sign is.
You don't get like a scorecard every night on what's going on with your.
It's like it goes to spam. Oh, it goes to spam. Okay. So I will check on that. I don't know if the Jews versus TikTok. Who's.
It's funny to. I am not googling that. Yeah, no. It is funny to think that like this guy is so stupid. Again, I assume this fucking freak anti-Semitic psycho thinks that like the ADL represents the Jewish interest. But it is funny that he's like leading people astray, even though internally his goal is to like educate the public. But he ends up like misinforming people. I'm not a fan of the double-sided sign. I think you get only one side and that's it. I agree. It's because most TikTokers are pro-Palestine. That's probably his thought process. Yeah, which is funny because, like, who do you think half of the fucking pro-Palestinian advocates are on there? What background do you think they are? It's Jewish Zoomers as well as every other kind of fucking Zoomer. This guy was not anti-Semite of the week, by the way. Yeah, well, you know, obviously, Stop Anti-Semitism has more important things to fight against, which is me being anti-Semite of the week.
Who's winning there? So,
what's the sign say here? What's the sign say here?
Jews versus TikTok.
Can we see it?
Bro, you have a cross that big, it's over. Okay? You have a cross that big, is so Jover.
Camera here. Jews versus TikTok. What does that mean?
Jewish groups are trying to get TikTok banned, and they're using Congress to do it under a false pretense.
You think Jewish people are just getting rid of TikTok? Really?
Doing their best. Look it up. They admit it. The
ADL.
TikTok's gone. It's off the
Yeah,
App Store.
well, that's what you guys want.
Jewish.
That's what you guys want.
Feels good.
So,
All right, there you have it.
Google it and read it. Google.
Jews really do control everything. Some Trump supporters with very big flags, but for every single Trump supporter, there's probably about 3 people from the media there. So it's a pretty exciting scene. The last time we were here, there was a woman, I guess it was right when he came in to be arraigned, there was a woman who was trying to stomp on.
Once again, I must repeat something very important, which is that the largest group of donors to AIPAC, the thing that this guy thinks is like representing Jewish interests, are not actually Jewish Americans. They're Christians, which is why I find it always so strange when someone who's rocking that fat ass fucking cross is just like, yeah, that's right. Jews want to ban TikTok. Look it up. It's like, really? I can't believe how many Jewish people are in an evangelical church in Dallas, Texas. You'd be shocked. The cross passes the fit check. Yeah, he's opium, actually.
On an anti-Trump flag,
Right.
and then she fell over. I think it was right
fell
here.
over it.
She fell over. Are you okay? I saw a video. You fell down.
Baby? Are you okay?
You fell on the ground.
Don't talk about Christian, you pig. Wait, why? I mean, I don't think that like televangelists in the South represent Christianity, but if you're going to get butthurt about them and think that they do represent Christianity well, then oops, cry about it, I guess.
Right?
I think I fell, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? That's a nasty tumble.
Yeah, it was a moment in which she was showing her support, but she didn't have enough support of her own.
Very well
Tumbled
said.
down.
Yeah.
But some people don't know what this trial is actually about. People are calling it Stormy Daniels hush money. That's true. But also, there was a story about another affair. There was a story about Donald Trump potentially having fathered a child with someone who worked at Trump Tower.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. In the catch and kills for the National Enquirer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it was about paying to stop stories from getting out, and then hiding those payments from the authorities.
Right, because it was
So-
a campaign payment.
Right.
Is the
So people are
That's what they're
saying,
saying, right.
trying to kind of reclassify this to people as an election interference case. But it seems more like you should be able to pay people off before an election case.
trying to see with the circus here.
Oh man, this is fantastic.
You're excited about today?
Oh, extremely.
Why?
I just think it's it's good for the country to see a
Great question,
spectacle like
Summer
this.
Breeze. Why is it so far-fetched to believe Jews control everything based on everything that's going on with the war and people being canceled and losing everything merely on criticizing Jews or Israel? Well, let me tell you, as anti-Semite of the week, let me explain to you why that is an incredibly stupid fucking idea. Okay? Support for Israel is not about support for Judaism. Israel does not represent the interests of Jews. As a matter of fact, Jewish support in the United States of America for Palestinians actually is nearly identical to the rest of the country. Once you go under the age of 35, support for Palestinians amongst the Jewish population in the United States of America is also aligned with the rest of the country. The percentages are nearly identical. There are many Jews in this chat, as a matter of fact, who are socialist and anti-Zionists. Okay? As the award winner for Anti-Semite of the Week, let me explain to you some facts. America's interest in Israel is not about Judaism at all, or Jewish people at all. America's interest in Israel is that Israel is a forward operating base or an unsinkable aircraft carrier for United States interests in a region that is very resource rich. Okay? If Israel was built as a settler colonial state that was comprised not of Jews, but of, I don't know, Christians, they would be supporting it all the same. Maybe even more than they support Israel, even though, I mean, it's pretty hard to support Israel more than they currently do. As far as support for Israel goes, there are significantly more people, 10x more people in this country that unconditionally offer support to Israel and fund Israeli settlement initiatives in the South amongst evangelical Protestants due to their own understanding of theology, okay? Due to their own understanding of theology that if the chosen sons and daughters of God control Israel, the holy land for them, then Jesus Christ is going to come back to earth. The rapture is going to happen. He is going to duke it out with the devil in Megiddo. That psychopathic anime-style theological understanding of the rapture happening and the second coming of Jesus Christ happening is the major underpinning and the major reason for why there is more support for Israel amongst evangelical Protestants in this country than there is amongst American Jews. Now, you might not know this, but Jewish people, there are not that many of them for multiple reasons, one of which being that Judaism does not proselytize or evangelize in the same way that Islam and definitely Christianity does. And then also, obviously, the Holocaust and, centuries of pogroms that Jewish people have withstood kind of played a big role in cutting the numbers down. Okay? So obviously, Jewish people, even if they wanted to, could not really mount a serious support for Israel in the same way that American Christians can. I don't understand how you're writing a paper, and this was your basis, by the way. Holy shit. I'm glad that you didn't write the paper with this attitude, because I think your teacher would probably be very correct in stating that you are anti-Semitic. This is a very anti-Semitic tendency that you should move away from. That the fact that Jews control the world or whatever is definitely, Nazi propaganda. And was Nazi propaganda. Yeah, he's writing a paper. He's writing Mein Kampf too. It's on the state itself, not that they control everything. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, well, Jewish people, don't control everything. That's not correct at all. Also, one really important part of this process that you're forgetting is that is monolithic thinking. I don't know if you know this, but Jewish people are not a monolith. Like, they're not operating on a single hive mind. That's not a thing. They're just normal human beings, just like you and I. In the words of John McCain, they're not Arab, they're good people. They're good. Okay, anyway. All right. John McCain did say that about Barack Obama once. Okay. Gotta ban you, weirdo. Oh, your anti-Semite, the Week article has 0 likes. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. So now that we established that the American foreign policy interest in Israel has nothing to do with Judaism and everything to do with America's interest in the region, I hope you understand that unconditional support to Israel has nothing to do with Jewish people as a whole. American support for Israeli activities also doesn't necessarily come from American Jews as much as it comes from American evangelical Protestant Christians. Okay? Just something to remember. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't ultra-Zionist Jewish people in positions of power. Of course there are. But they are not the movement builders here. The overarching interest of America, the American State Department, that is the major factor. If tomorrow, every single Jewish ultra-Zionist, ultra-nationalist person decided magically to no longer be in support of Israel, do you think that America would stop defending Israel? That is the question you must ask yourself. Because if you truly believe that, well, then you're a silly person. Okay? That would not stop America from defending Israel. If every single American Jew that was in a position of power that went from being ultra-Zionist to anti-Zionist tomorrow, do you really think America will stop defending Israel? Because they would not. Jewish people are not a monolithic culture like all religious, cultural, and political groups, but you do use they for groups you don't like. Explain to me what groups I don't like very quickly. And you can't say Christian because I defend those of the Christian faith as well, but I do talk about hogs. Go ahead. Unless you mean conservatives. Ooh, interesting. Conservatism. A mindset, an attitude, a way of thinking. Is it a way of existence? No, I don't think so. As a matter of fact, if it was a way of existence, I would be the #1 genocider of conservatives, because there is a shit ton of people who used to be conservative who are no longer not conservative. So am I actually killing conservatives when I change their minds? Is that what's going on? Or are they no longer becoming conservative? Do you think conservatism is a race? Or do you think it's a way of thinking that I think is bad? Okay, we'll continue. Well, I'm going to table this discussion, but let's move on.
You know, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. We're in a free society, and we can.
What is happening with the fucking audio levels on this goddamn video? They go up and
like
down
this,
so crazy.
All the news coverage just shows that we're the freest place in America.
I'm sensing a little sarcasm from you.
Maybe a little.
Are you upset about the trial?
I'm not happy about it. I don't think it should have ever happened.
Why is that?
Because I think it's all made up. Trumped up, no pun intended.
Which
In
part?
what part? Yeah.
Alvin Bragg, that part.
He's
You
not
think
real?
He's not a real person? Or?
I think he's doing this totally for political purposes.
He's being indicted on a misdemeanor that's past the statute of limitations, but Fat Alvin Bragg.
What'd you call him?
I was not expecting that guy to give me that take, by the way. Damn, bro, this dude literally was like, I think I just broke him. I think he's changing his username from Can't Be Swayed to I Am Now Swayed. Because I feel like I feel like he's no longer conservative. Like he just had his mind broken here. Another day, another conservative genocided who is no longer conservative and now reformed. His account was created 30 minutes ago. He's struggling. Yeah, well. It's crazy. They can be swayed, actually, it turns out. I'm going to assume that he was swayed.
Fat Alvin Bragg.
FAT?
Yes.
Why are you calling him that?
Well, he is, isn't he?
What would you call Santa, though, if you had to describe Santa?
You're interrupting.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You asked.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have a little bit of trouble with the optics of it. I think people are not going to love that this feels like these, especially the moments that are in question, are kind of private moments, they're affairs, or whether or not he's the father of a child. If they had been
You're
shady
covering up the
business
payments.
dealings, exactly. So it's easy for supporters to write it off like it would be any other of his tax violations or his, but you know, it seems like a relatively small financial crime. I don't think it is, but I think that's what it's going to look like. And I think it's the only one that's going to actually affect whether or not he's convicted of anything before the election. So I think it's not a strong one to lead with, in my opinion.
Well, there are some people, like we said before, there's like protesters here for Donald Trump. And a couple minutes ago, the Laura Loomer and some of her friends, the super friends of Laura Loomer,
the loud
super friends
group,
they were giving a press conference, which was her yelling in a bullhorn and then other people.
I was going to say, that's a press conference nowadays?
I
Things
guess
have
so.
changed.
Yeah.
It's just the lady with the bullhorn screaming so loud.
Now the Jews control everything, guys. Giving a press conference over here. The media's all around him trying to see what he say. But they were giving a press conference. Then Andrew Giuliani was there, and you were kind of getting a little annoyed by like how loud everything was.
I wanted him to hush a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? and I realized I looked in my pocket. I had a few bucks.
Yeah,
I had a
nice.
few dollars. So I figured I would give him a hush payment.
Soros funded district attorney in order to bring this case.
Excuse me.
There's no underlying felony.
I'm gonna give you $5 here. It's a hush
Hey,
money
here's
payment.
the
if
deal.
you can just leave.
Here's the deal,
Here you
my
go.
friend. That has nothing to do with it, my
Here
friend.
you go.
What's the idea?
Yeah, I'm
What's the
giving
idea?
you hush money. Hush money. Everyone got mad. They screamed more. So hush payments aren't as effective
Okay.
as you want them to be. But I'm still gonna keep sending money his way, and hopefully he'll take it. Just get the heck out of here.
Well, I don't know that the hush money payment worked with him, because I went up and interviewed, and after I didn't realize who I was talking to.
Right.
And I asked him his name. I mean, we could show the video, but I asked him his name, and then I realized, oh my God, Giuliani, that's the same last name as the guy who did Four
You
Seasons
put that
Total.
together. 'Cause
Right
we've
in the
been following
moment.
this stuff pretty closely, and that name was like
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. You remembered it in the moment.
Do you mind if I just get your first and last name?
Sure. Who are you guys with?
We're Jason Selva with TGL here.
TGL. Okay. Andrew Giuliani.
Andrew Giuliani.
Yes.
Giuliani, that's the last name of the guy who's at Total Landscaping, right? Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
Former mayor, New York. Yeah, America's mayor. That's right. Yeah.
The guy who.
Oh my God, he kind of sounds like him. Former mayor. Oh, dude, that's crazy. They found his son, dude. How are they so, bro? I'm not big into eugenics, but goddamn, this bloodline has to end at him. Why are they so ghoulish? Why do they look so freakish, dude? The new variant is also just as ghoulish as the old one. Somehow even more ghoulish. Oh my God, he did date his cousin. Is that why?
Who was
hold
was
on
on national television sweating
1 second.
hair dye?
We're gonna keep going. Hey, would you do me a favor? Would you record this interview? You got it. Awesome.
Please
Thank
do.
you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So your father was the guy who was sweating hair dye on.
Okay, funny guy. So you like seeing our country just fall apart? Is that what you like there, funny guy?
I'm asking you a question. Could you just give me?
He's like, yeah, come on. I'm going to fucking own you now. That's right. TGL. I love when they always ask, like, what outlet are you from? To just, like, make a quick snapshot judgment on, like, whether they're woke or not. It's awesome.
Give me a yes or no. Was your dad?
I'm asking you a question. You like seeing our country fall apart? Yes or no?
Was your
Do
dad?
you like seeing our country fall apart the way it is?
Was your
Do you like
dad?
what's going on at the? Have you been up to the Roosevelt Hotel recently? Have you seen that there, buddy?
I'm just wondering why you
I'm
can't
asking
answer.
a question.
You can't answer
the
one
question. Why
simple
can't you
question.
answer the question?
I
You
asked
come
you
out
a
with New
simple
Yorkers,
question.
You got to deal with the New York question. You can't deal
I
with
asked
it?
you a simple
Is that
question.
the deal? You can't
Was
deal with
your
it.
father
Why
the
can't you
guy
deal
who
with
was
it?
sweating
and I
hair
asked
dye?
you a question. Do you like seeing our
It's
country
a yes.
fall
It's a yes
apart?
or
And
no
you
question.
can't answer.
All right, so that was the guy whose dad was sweating hair dye while spreading election lies after the 2020 election. He couldn't answer a simple question, yes or no question. And that's just the state of America right now. Some people, they want to be in positions of leadership, but they can't answer a yes or no question. I think that's why this country's in the shape that it is right now. He would not give a yes or no answer to that question. He was evading it.
So as a journalist, do you think the answer was yes or no? I know you don't want to add your editorialize here too much.
I think that their facts matter, and like this is a yes or no situation. Like, yes, Rudy Giuliani did sweat hair dye after the 2020 election.
When you say there's no evidence.
But he would not.
Yes, he
confirm
didn't intend to book the Four Seasons.
I wish they did more with that guy. Him and his dad. Oh, you know that kid was busted, dude, from the jump. You see a kid with that haircut looking like that, you already know. His future prospects were cut short from the jump, you know? It's not his fault.
Resort.
Yes.
Ended up booking the Four Seasons Total Landscaping. Of course, that was right next to a porn shop and a crematorium.
Yeah.
I don't think that could have been intentional, although it was maybe the best thing to ever happen.
Definitely the best thing that ever happened in the state of Pennsylvania. I don't know, like ever, but definitely in the state of Pennsylvania.
Right.
And certainly in the city of Philadelphia, that's for sure.
Is there more?
So those.
All right. Well, that's the Good Liars chat.